Hello, my name is Lauren, and in this video we will be showing you how to make chocolate cake. Now, for this delicious chocolate cake, you will need 2 cups flour, 2 cups granulated sugar, 3/4 of a cup, 3/4 of a cup, and 3/4 of a cup, they're the same, of unsweetened cocoa powder, 2 teaspoons baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons baking soda, a teaspoon salt, which is optional, 1 teaspoon espresso powder, a cup whole milk, a 1/2 cup vegetable oil, 2 large eggs, and 2¼ teaspoons vanilla extract, and 1 cup boiling water. Now, let's get started. First, you preheat your oven to 350. Now, once your oven is preheated, you are going to get 2 pans. I am using 2 9-inch circular pans. And first what you're gonna do, you get a little bit of parchment paper, if you have it. If you do not have parchment paper, that's totally fine. It is completely optional. I'm going to get my parchment paper. Now I have these sheets of parchment paper that fit in my pan perfectly, so I am going to use these. I just put 1 in each pan, and then you are going to get I use this spray oil to grease your pans. You grease the parchment paper, and then you get a paper towel and you fold it up like this, and then you're also going to fold it up like this, and then you just you spread your oil around the entire pan. Make sure you get the edges, because you do not want your cake to stick. And then you can use the same piece of paper towel for your other one. So now what you are going to do, put those off to the side. Now you are going to, in your bowl, I have this nice blue bowl. It's a large bowl. So the batter fits. You first are going to add your 2 cups of flour. So I'm going to get my measuring cups out, and you take your flour and you are first going to get a butter knife. A butter knife is like this. And then make sure with that butter knife, I'm not using this one, but you scrape off the edges so you get exactly the measurement of flour you want. So first I am going to get my measuring cup and measure out some flour. We'll be right back once I'm done. Hello. We are back, and right now I have my brother Lucas back with us. Now we get our 2 cups of granulated sugar. Now we have this little spout thing, so it's a lot easier for us to pour.
You can also use, if you have like a bigger tub of it, you can stick the cup in, although this one is too small to do that.
Now you are going to measure out 2 cups. And
it should be close to 2 cups, but don't be sad if
it's just a little off.
A little less, a little more.
So now you do 1 more.
Seems like a lot of sugar.
Okay. Okay, so now you are going to add your 3/4 of a cup cocoa powder. We are using Hershey's cocoa powder because it is not sweetened and we like it.
And we use it.
Yes. Yep. So, spoon to measure this out, it's a lot easier. Get a spoon and have your measuring thing nearby.
We spilled a little bit.
And you spoon it in. That's our oven just preheated. Okay, so it doesn't have to be exact. So 1. And then you add the second. Okay, so now that's the second, and we need our third. Now you only do 3.
3 sounds like a lot.
It's a chocolate cake. And
I guess it's a chocolate. Now you can adjust this a little bit if you really want to. If you want it to be like a bigger cake, you can add like double the ingredients.
And you do not have to add I said earlier, I forgot to say this, the espresso powder is optional. It just brings out that chocolatey flavor. A little more. Oh, and the salt's optional. Okay, so now with this, you also add your baking powder and baking soda.
Now I'm kind of weird, so I'm mixing with this. I should look at that. It's even right here. What's wrong with me?
Okay, so now you are going to add your 2, while someone else is mixing, they do not have
Or
to
whisking,
be,
you can use.
or whisking.
We use usually a whisk, but not this time.
Okay, so you add 2 teaspoons
Or baking powder?
of baking powder. And then, with that same measuring spoon, you do not have to wash it because you're making the same chocolate cake. You get your baking soda, and you do 1 and a half. So 1 and a half. Okay. So then, when you have that all mixed in, this is the time, if you want to add salt, this is the time to add it. And then if you are adding espresso powder, which we add because we like the chocolatey flavor that it does. That
it
gives.
brings out.
Yeah. So now you are going to add a teaspoon of this espresso powder. If you're not doing espresso powder, that's totally fine. Now you do a teaspoon espresso powder. And we are not adding salt because I don't really add salt to my baking stuff. And it always turns out good.
But you can.
Yeah, you can if you want. So then, oh, and if you are adding salt, you do a teaspoon salt. If you don't want that much salt, you can always minimize it to like half a teaspoon, 1/4 of a teaspoon. It doesn't matter.
As long as it's...
Okay, so once that is mixed, you whisk really thoroughly.
Pretty thoroughly. Not really.
Try not to spill
as long
it
as
everywhere.
it's like that color, it should be pretty good.
And if you fold it up, there shouldn't be any clumps of like white stuff. Okay, so then...
Or that many. It's okay if there's a little bit, but not too much.
So now, you add that until combined well. So now you are going to add your cup milk. And you are going to add your cup vegetable oil, eggs, 2 eggs, half a cup vegetable oil, 2 eggs, and your 2 1/4 teaspoon vanilla extract. Now we will be right back while we add those ingredients.
Okay, so we have just incorporated our ingredients. Your batter should look like this.
So now you are going to take a cup of hot water and you are going to pour it all in. So now your batter should be pretty liquidy.
Like very liquidy.
Yes.
You
need to mix it in now. And while you are...
It's a very liquidy batter.
Yes. So,
But moist.
then after you do that, you can decide if you want to do cupcakes or cake with this. We are doing cakes because we like the layer cakes, and to us, cupcakes seem a little less moist to us, so we like the layer cakes. So now this might take a little while to
Are we making a
incorporate
buttercream
it
too?
all. Yes, we are making a buttercream later in this video. Now it may take a little while to incorporate all this water, so we'll be right back. We're back and we have our batter. It is pretty liquidy.
Yeah, see?
And now you are going to pour half and half. You're going to pour half into your one batter and half into your other. And just try to do it as evenly as you can. So now,
We're going to pour this in, I guess.
mhm,
Also, you were supposed to incorporate 1 cup of water into this.
make sure it was 1 cup of hot water.
And if you're having trouble pouring it into the tins, or the cake pans, make your batter more runny. Also,
Yeah.
make sure it's like pretty consistent and not like lumpy.
Lumpy, and it
Or
shouldn't
not
be.
very lumpy.
It shouldn't be lumpy in some parts and not lumpy in the others. So we are going to
And that doesn't mean that the whole part should be lumpy.
take this bowl and pour half of it
Here, I'll take this spatula out.
in.
It's about half. Here, no,
Now you are going to pour.
the other half. Be careful and do not taste your batter because it has raw egg. I know some people do that, but we do not. Here, add some more. No, that's not all of it. It's a lot more. Oh, this is not even. More than that, more than that. Other way, no! And now the rest into this one.
Okay.
Oh no. Yeah, we're not the cleanest bakers. You were probably going to be more clean than us.
Okay.
My butter would be.
Okay, so I'm gonna clean up the counter quickly.
We'll be right back in a little bit. 1 second.
So first you just
Yeah, if you spilled like a thing.
it's really runny, so it's hard to
It's hard to clean up.
pour. No,
And
it's,
hard to-
it's not hard to clean up. It's just hard to pour.
Oh, you missed a lot.
Make sure you clean up as you go.
Well, not necessarily. If you want to clean it all up at the end, that's okay.
Mm-hmm. So now we are just gonna pour as much as we can into it. If some of it isn't coming out, your batter's liquidy enough, like ours is sticking kind of to the bottom. But if it's like not coming out and it's super thick and it's not runny, then you should add a little more water.
We're not really on camera. Can you move these tins over a little bit?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, we got this.
So then when you have your tins,
Okay.
now when you're carrying them over
Also,
to your
make sure to have a bowl big enough to do this because, like, this is a pretty big bowl.
It took up most of the bowl, and it's a pretty good big bowl. So make sure you have a big enough bowl. You don't want to have like a small bowl, and then it won't fit.
Also, make sure to wash your hands after doing this.
Yes.
Because, again, raw egg.
Yes. So me and Lucas are going to just put these in. While you're putting them in, make sure not to tip the batter because
And
it'll.
also, do not burn yourself on the oven.
Yeah, don't burn yourself.
Here, I'll get the gloves.
If I don't need
Here, I'll
gloves
do
when I'm putting them in.
Oh, yeah, but, like, when you're taking... Actually, it probably is a good
I
idea.
don't need to. I don't do it.
You might not need it, but it's a good idea.
I don't do it ever.
Open up the oven.
Okay, so
Gosh, this is a really liquidy batter.
it's supposed to be that.
This scares me.
Okay, don't tip it like that. 'Cause then... Now
Well, it's hard to reach in when you put it at this angle.
I am going to quickly get the other one for him. Okay, so now if your oven is a convection oven, put it in for about, I'd say 7 minutes. If it's not, put it in for 10 minutes and check on it. So we are going to put it in for 7 minutes because ours is a convection oven. Okay, so now, first we are going to clean up a little our counter space.
And start making this buttercream. We'll be right back.
Yes, we'll be right back after we're done cleaning.
Okay, so we just soften some butter. It should be softened for 10 seconds. Well, put it in the microwave for 10 seconds, take it out, flip it, and then put it in for another 10 seconds.
Don't put
and
it
it
in
should
for-
be flattened, and it should be like
A little squishy. Don't put it in for 20 seconds straight because it'll just melt.
Yeah.
You
and
need-
also, or no, it won't get cooked thoroughly.
No, it'll melt.
Also, make sure to use, if you haven't greased your pans yet, and you haven't put this in the microwave and you're just watching the video, or in a previous, and later on, I threw it out, but use the wrapping on the butter. You can actually use it to wipe it down on
To
the
grease
pan.
your pan.
Yeah, you can use it to grease.
So now you are going to cream your butter with your electric hand mixer. If you have a stand mixer,
I have this.
that would work too. Now you have to cream the butter
We can show you this because it doesn't seep out of the butter.
until it's nice and softened. Until it's
Try to
nice
get
and creamy.
try to get the extra butter into the all the butter into the bowl. So push it out of the blender if possible.
So now you are going to have 2.5 cups of powdered sugar. Now, powdered sugar is not the same as flour. They look the same, but they were definitely not the same.
No, they're the same.
Oops, let me check on our cakes quickly.
No, they're not.
Okay, so these cakes look pretty well done. So I am going to get a toothpick, and you stick the toothpick in your cake, and if it comes out clean, your cakes are done. And make sure to take them out with your oven mitts. Do not burn yourself. Take them out with the oven mitts. So ours look pretty well done. I'm just gonna put a toothpick in them and see if they are actually done.
Okay, got off most of the butter. You don't have to get off all the butter. Just try to get out most of it. Lauren, are we gonna keep using this mixture? Are we gonna keep using this mixture, or should I put it away?
Okay, so yes, we're keeping using it.
Okay.
This isn't done yet.
That might not help that much with pushing out the butter because we're gonna mix it anyway. But I guess we're gonna put in other stuff, so it won't be quite as the same texture. Okay.
So now ours are done. So you're just gonna
Yeah,
add
ours-
30 minutes.
Yeah, those look almost done.
You're gonna
You can do whatever time you want. We messed ours up. We don't know how long they take
well.
because they're watery. They'll be moister, but the sacrifice is to cook them for a lot longer. Usually it only takes not as long as this. Okay, should I add the cocoa powder now?
No. Do not add the cocoa powder. You
Add the what?
add the powdered sugar. So you need 2.5 cups. I know that seems like a lot, but it's
Here, no, I can skip it off.
So then make sure you level it just like I showed you.
Here,
how
no,
to-
get more. I'm gonna push some out. Here, no, hold it flat. See, we're gonna actually show you. See, here, no, stop it.
See, if you have this like
Yeah,
this,
okay.
you just slide it like that.
You slide it. No. So you slide it back a little bit, but not all the way, and then you push the rest off. So-
Yes. You make sure you get exact.
No. You're pointing it down. There. There, and it should look like that once you're done with
It should look very flat and nice. So you add 2.5 cups.
I like doing that. There, okay.
2, and then you add 1/2 of a cup.
That's not allowed.
Yes, it is. It's sticking to the edges.
Hot powder sugar was that sticky. Well, I'm gonna go check on our cakes. They might be done now. I'm gonna check.
Stick a toothpick.
Oh yes, that's a trick.
Right
Stick
there.
a toothpick.
Toothpicks are sitting right there.
A trick is to
I
stick
already
a
told them
toothpick. Oh, you already told them. Okay. I'm gonna do it right now, I guess.
So now you are
Make sure
gonna,
to stick the toothpick in the middle if you're doing this.
and then while
Of
you're
both of the cakes.
you're gonna also add your cocoa.
No, they're not even
powder.
close to done. Look at that.
You're gonna add a quarter of cocoa powder,
And they're
a
both.
1/4 cup cocoa powder, and you are just gonna mix
Dude, what's wrong with our cakes?
until combined. not have your mixer at too high of a whisking speed because it will spray everywhere. So now it should be powdery. So now we are going to add...
We didn't have enough cocoa powder, so we're adding this chocolate stuff. It's melted chocolate chips.
It's melted chocolate chips. Now, if you do have enough cocoa
That's
powder...
it?
No.
Oh, we're going to add it slowly.
You're going to add it slowly. If you do have enough cocoa powder, you can use that.
Yeah, you should use it.
Yeah, because we don't really know how much we're using here.
We're just going to use it all.
We're just going to use it.
Chocolate buttercream is in no means bad.
Now just add it a little bit at a time. We gave it 9 minutes.
Not 10 minutes actually. Do you want to know why? They were really gooey. I didn't know. They were going to have to be at least 10 minutes. It's getting moist, this buttercream.
It should be. So then you're just going to...
It's not coming out. It's sticky.
It's okay.
This is why I rubbed it on there.
Okay, this is good. Okay, so now you are going to add some milk. So just add a little milk at a time. There's no exact measurement. There's no exact measurement for how much milk you should be using. Just do it until the consistency of your buttercream is how you want it.
Oh, that buttercream can be good.
You just add a little milk I'm just getting the flours, no, not the flour, the confectioner's sugar or powdered sugar off the sides and mixing it into my buttercream. Okay, so I want it a little thinner than this because we are going to be piping it out. And piping, it's easier if you have a thinner buttercream. It doesn't need to be that thin like ganache, but just a little thinner if you are piping it. You do not have to pipe it, but it just makes it easier to frost the entire cake for me. And for Lucas.
I don't frost cake.
Well, Lucas doesn't really do the frosting.
I've never actually frosted cake. Maybe I want to try it. I'm trying.
Okay, so our buttercream is nice and done.
Clean up. Wow, this is one of the least messy cakes we've ever made.
Okay.
This is pretty crazy.
So you can take a small spoon and taste it if you want to. Oops.
But other than that, we're gonna come back when our cakes are done.
And when your cakes are done, make sure to chill them for a little bit so the frosting doesn't like melt all over your cake.
Oh yeah, that's bad. Okay.
So we have our buttercream ready, and we have our 2 cakes just got out of the oven. They are now in the fridge. If you want this to take like a minute less time, you can put them in the freezer, but we didn't have room. So now you can get a plastic bag. We are using a Ziploc bag.
No, that's too small. That's too small. This is too much buttercream for that.
Okay. Well, then my brother said it was too small, so we are going to get a bigger bag.
Well, this is if you want to pipe it. You can just pick it out and smother it all in your cake. You don't even have to make a buttercream, but if you did, and you probably did, but you don't know.
Okay, so I am getting a glass. Actually, this candy plastic, we are just get a cup, a good-sized cup.
Like this, for perspective, my hand isn't very big, but this is, this is a pretty good-sized cup.
So actually, we might want, because this is
Wait, we might want 2
2 small ones.
No.
Okay.
This
So
is better.
now you put this. So how you do it is you put one corner, like one little corner of your thing, and you
I've never
push
done this. So I
it.
don't know how this works.
You put it in, and then you push down as much as you can, and then you try to like get
Oh my
it
God.
all in, all of it that you can get in, and then you just put down the sides, and then you get a spatula.
Or a spoon. A spoon will work too.
Now you need, like, if you're using a spatula, get a flat spatula.
Well, aren't most spatulas flat?
Well, some are like.
A little bit more curved.
Yeah. Okay. So you just want a flat
Well, you
one.
tried to make a point.
There are usually curved ones. So now, I'm just gonna check if all the sugar and cocoa powder is incorporated, and it looks like it is in my buttercream. Now you do that just by kind of just like
You might think
folding it over. So now with your buttercream, you get it on a spoon, and oopsie, that's too much.
Did I do this the right way? Is this?
Okay, so.
Okay.
Okay, so you just push it in,
I don't know. Sometimes, oh well, it doesn't have egg in it. Or
and
any other type of thing.
you go like that, and just scoop it until it's all, your bag is filled.
Well, until.
And it's okay because we're using a big bag, so I can overfill it because the other edges are just down there.
As much as
Much as you want to be able to still fit it in your bag.
yeah, this will fit. It was a good thing that I decided that we should have a big bag. You wanted to do 2 small bags.
Okay, and then you just get
It almost looks like an ice cream top. See?
it all out.
Yeah, this is definitely like that. Should
Okay,
we try to get some off? No, there's not much left.
now you just
Should I put this away?
you pull the corners up like that. Oops, I got a little up here. Okay, so now what you do is you are going to zip up your bag so your buttercream doesn't spill all out over you. And then your piping bag is ready. If you do
You also
have,
need to cut the corner
you also need to cut the corner. We're not going to do that yet.
because we don't want to. Because we don't want it to get.
Okay, and if you do have piping bags at home, you can also just use those with a piping tip if you want to. Now, we don't really, we have piping bags. We have a limited supply of them though. So we are just going to use a plastic bag.
We'll be back when our cakes are chill.
Okay.
So we just got our cake out. It got ripped a little bit while we were trying to get it out. It's stuck a little bit. Sorry if that happens to yours. But we're just about to start frosting our cake.
So in the middle,
Do not put your second layer or third layer or whatever up on top yet. Frost it in the middle first. Should I get the frosting tool where like you use it like to like spread the frosting?
okay. And then also, if you have a tool.
Where's the tool? Where did you put the tool?
Okay, so some people have a tool. It's basically
Like it's like this thing.
it's an uneven knife.
See? And it so you use it to spread things on a cake. It's pretty helpful. Although it can only do like cakes about this big, so
Like a,
they can't really tell though. It's kind of the perspective is not very good. No, you don't do it like that. You
Yes,
do
you
it
do.
like this. Oh, okay, fine, maybe. I don't know what I'm doing with frosting here.
here, okay. So you just kind of spread it.
No, this is pretty good at it.
Now you can do as thick of a layer as you can. Ours kind of ripped, so this is going to be a little harder.
But it shouldn't be that hard.
You can do as thick of a layer as you want to. Now, I'm just going to pipe a little tiny bit more on. And then you just spread it sure to use your frosting sparingly because you want to have enough to cover the entire thing. So I'm just gonna go with this.
My sparingly means use about 1/3 of the bag per time because that's kind of how it works.
Okay. So
Well, yeah, kind of like.
mine is basically covered. This is just,
That's
just part that went through the frosting.
okay. Now, you should flip your cake upside down once you get the thing. Like you have like this tray, right? You flip
It might not be a tray.
upside down. It could be a tray. It can be like a rack. It can be whatever. Let's try to do this. Here, hold the cake down. Hold the cake.
There we go.
Oh yes, that one was a lot better. Okay, so now you know what it should look like. That is what it's basically supposed to look like. That was probably the most flawless cake we've put on ever. We're not very good at doing that.
Now you can put little dollops on all over your cake and then spread them.
But we're just gonna mostly put it on top. Okay, I'll get the frosting tool and kind of see how you do it. Here, no, I'll get this out. Here.
Okay, so you need to make sure to,
Do you want dollops?
which my brother's not doing, is you need to pull this down, all
I'm
the
gonna do that.
frosting
You
from
just
the
push it.
top.
Well, some frosting from the top, as much as you can get. Should I make dollops or should I just?
Just make little dots. Or just spread it around, it's your choice.
Spread it around.
Now it is a lot easier to pipe if you have a piping bag and your frosting's a little thin.
Yeah, you don't need to use this bag trick that we have. You can, if you have a piping bag, then. Although this is like a little thing to do if you don't have a piping bag. And so it's better. Well, if you don't have a piping bag. Piping bags are a little bit easier to use. And if you have a piping bag, you also probably have the piping tips, and you can use those. We do, but we don't have very many piping bags left. And they're not like the reusable ones.
Okay, so we're just piping the top
That's probably enough
because
frosting.
some people in our family don't really like frosting,
It's
too
much.
much frosting.
That much frosting.
So we're just piping on the top and we don't have very much frosting.
You can always make more.
You can make more if you run out of frosting and you want to pipe the entire
This
thing.
can be good cake.
And it does not have to look perfect.
It just has to taste good. Well,
It just should.
if yours cracks in half, it's okay.
If
Yeah,
yours
you can,
cracks
like,
in half,
the-
that's
you
happened
can
to
kind
us before.
You can kind of like rub it into
If yours
it
cracks in half and you want it to look perfect, you can
and
always
cover the whole thing with frosting.
No. You can get your frosting out and get your cake and get it into a bowl and dump your frosting in the bowl with your cake. And then you are going to, you just mush it all together and then you can form little balls and you can make cake pops.
I assume we don't need this anymore, right?
No. And you can make cake pops. Out of that, you could just melt some chocolate and dip them in with a stick and just put some sprinkles on top. If yours cracks in half or something, we are just making a chocolate cake. It doesn't really matter what it tastes like to, what it looks like to us. We just want it to look good.
No. Wait, what?
I mean,
That made no sense.
It doesn't matter what it looks like to us. Oopsie.
That's so wrong.
Okay, so now put this cake back in the fridge, freezer if you want to, and just take it out when you're ready to serve it. I hope you liked the video. Bye.